Oh my goodness. Mark out Mania. Mark out Mania. We're marking out this Saturday morning on Mark Out Mania.
Oh, the return of the classic theme song. Good job.
Heck yeah.
I did not. I had an idea. I had an idea for the theme song this week, but I didn't have time to develop it. But hola everyone, and welcome to the Mark Out Mania
Show.
Woo! What is up, everybody? First things first, how you boys doing, and are you boys staying safe?
First things first, I'm obeying my thirst.
Ah, good man. I like the way you think, Mr. Zeus.
I'm drinking ice water.
Oh, look at that.
A shout out to Angie. Angie,
the ANG, wakey, eggs and bacon. Look who's up. Good job.
Oh my
Angie
God.
can get up. She can get up on the West Coast and be here, but there's a certain
Thank you.
certain beanie weenie he can't make it ever.
B can't mean it's too early for Bean.
Hey.
Angie, thank you very much for waking up. And FYI, Ange, I am in episode 5 of season 1 of Grace and Frankie. So there you go.
Well, here's another thing. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Next week on our show, Angie will be here for her 4th time.
Ooh, she's getting close to the 5-timers club.
Yeah, we'll be doing we'll be talking about the Tanahashi movie, which I haven't seen yet, but I will see. My dad is a hill wrestler, and we'll be talking popcorn flicks next week.
Oh, the ANG on the left side representing. Good job, hon.
So we can't wait to see you next week.
Yes.
And we're happy you're here with us this week.
Yes, Angie. Thanks for getting up. We appreciate it. Hey guys.
Yes.
Before we start, real quick, I just want to give a special shout out. I've had a busy week with appointments. I've been going back and forth to my heart specialist, having some issues, but it's been extra crazy because of the COVID-19. So I just want to give a special shout out to my favorite nurse, Christine, who I call Nurse Chapel because she's a Trekkie like me. And she's been really looking out for me. She's been taking care of me in my appointments all week long. And I just want to give a shout out to the Orlando Health Heart Institute. They're doing an amazing job. Patty, Dr. Schropp, all the first responders, everybody's making everything possible. And for people like Zeus who deliver the things that we need on a daily basis, thank you so much. And we just want to be there for you and stay safe. And I just want to thank everybody for doing their thing. Because it's because of you all guys, I'm still here flapping my gums. So thanks. I just wanted to say that real quick.
Thank you definitely to all the people, that in the medical field that are, braving getting sick, and everybody else.
I just want to give a quick shout out and a thank you. It's very appreciative. So thanks, guys.
It's a rough time. Mm-hmm. It's a rough time out there. Thursday, I got a little bicep tear last Friday, and then Thursday I had a physical therapy thing.
Are you trying to go over the top rope again?
Not gonna say. So after the appointment, I was right near one of my customers that I deliver to, and pizza restaurant, Elizabeth's Pizza, and I had like soup and a cheese stick and an apple for lunch, so I was like, well, I can have a nice dinner, and so I went in there and I ordered a cheesesteak, and of course they got, like everywhere now, it's like the price of plexiglass must be going crazy because everybody's got to get it now.
Yeah.
And it's hanging from the ceilings, and it's like, the staff is staff is minimal, and it's sad to see a place that's, you know, it's always, you know, got people sitting in it and eating and everything, you know, and when you see the look on people's faces where they're normally confident and they're happy and they're busy, and when you walk in and, you know, and they're a little nervous, and they're very happy to see you because, you know, they need the business. They need every bit of it that they can get. And, you know, that hurts because I know there's places that, you know, that are floating, you know, they're, you know, floating on, you know, whatever they can get by on right now.
Oh,
and, you know, we need these places to survive so that people have places to go work after all this is over. So I just want to say thank you to them. They gave me free Italian fried donuts.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was I had nice cheesesteak and donuts. I appreciate that too. So
Damn, Zeus! Now I'm hungry. How's your bicep doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, it's going to be all right. It's probably going to take another week or maybe a week or two to get up to you know, get it all fixed up. It's just that we have a pretty rough physical test that we have to go through to get back on regular duty. So I told the people at the rehab place that's you know what I need to do. So, you know, he's going to help me get to that point. So
okay, sounds good, man. I hope you get better quickly.
Yeah, and we got there's like 300 cases of bad wine in the warehouse that got to be poured out. So I'll be busy.
Hey, Pedro, how you doing? You all right? You good?
Yes, I am surviving.
You sound like you're broadcasting from the moon.
I know, right?
I am. Yes, everything's fine here. I just been trying to keep busy. You know, but hey, what's been going on this week?
Well, we had last Sunday. We had the debut for free on the NWA YouTube channel of the 2019 Crockett Cup in its entirety.
So that was watched it
because as everybody knows, I was there second row. Got to see that amazing show.
Of course, because you're super famous.
I'm super, and I'm famous. Yes, I know.
Yes,
and he's the god of thunder.
He's the god of thunder.
And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it second time. I was just telling one of my buddies the other day. I was like, you know, he's like, well, I'm gonna skip around and watch some matches and not others. I was like, well, it's like make sure to watch that Flip Bandito and versus Stuka Jr. and Guerrero Maya Jr. That was probably the best tag team match in the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, of course, you know, still I keep saying it, you know, Marty Scurll versus Nick Aldis is my match of the year for 2019.
Yeah, man, that was a great match. It was very good.
Yeah, that was a good match.
He's so over, man.
Yeah.
Scurll is so over. He is so over.
He really was. And it's crazy for, you know, it's like here's this short British guy.
Yeah.
In this crazy ass popular in North Carolina. I mean, it's just amazing.
But he oozes charisma, man. He's great, you know?
Yeah.
It's
but I mean, apparently Ring of Honor used to come to Concord like 2 or 3 times a year. You know, a few years ago is what somebody was telling me when I was there. So, you know, back when it was, you know, he was, you know, with the, you know, the elite guys and Adam Cole and all that running around. So,
Well, yeah, because I've told you at the Ring of Honor Lakeland show, as soon as he came out, that place popped. I mean, he had the biggest pop of the night. It was all him, you know.
Yeah.
I see, you know, him and PCO. It was like crazy. Everybody went crazy. You know.
Yep.
But it was good stuff. It was good stuff, man. The Crockett Cup, baby.
The Crockett Cup is back, and you know it was 1986, same weekend. Same weekend, 1986 was when the Road Warriors defeated Rodney Garvin and Magnum TA to win the very first Crockett Cup.
And the Road Warriors won our tournament too.
And
yeah. They got themselves a nice certificate from Zeus.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Very cool certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that was
with the historian.
Yeah. And that's that's the the fun of it all. It's like I figured up we had probably over 6,000 total votes.
Oh wow.
That's awesome. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for
in that
voting.
whole tournament. So
big thank you to everyone who voted.
Yes. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, everybody that voted, you know, even though some, you know, we didn't get all the results we wanted.
As long as the Bucks didn't make it to the finals, I was happy.
Yeah, I was worried if AEW fans caught wind of it, that it could have been a Bucks thing, but I'm glad that wasn't the case.
Right.
It's okay. And as long as cock and balls didn't win anything, I'm happy too. They had their run in the 80s. All right, go away.
And the run in the present day.
Yeah, like you gotta be kidding me, you know? And you, I'm like, what?
Well, you know, when you said "and new," it reminded me. Yeah, Howard Finkel passed away.
Howard Finkel, yeah, man, the Fink, R.I.P. baby.
Yeah. For me, he had the definitive "and new."
We are losing a lot of guys from our childhood.
Yes, we are, unfortunately. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's happening.
Mean Gene, the Fink,
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Ivan Koloff. Ivan Koloff,
Yeah.
wow.
But that's sadly that's the nature of wrestling. You don't get to live to be a ripe old age when you're when that's your career. It's just even if you're not one of these people who's doing stupid crazy drugs, it's just the hustle bustle and the travel. It all takes its toll on people.
Either you're in really good shape or you're beat up, because all you gotta do is look at Foley. He can't even tie his own shoe. And Funk, and Hart. I mean, all of them look like, like they struggle to walk, and it's sad to see that.
Yeah.
Or you're really, 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 really great shape. I mean, there are people who's taking bumps all the years and they're still walking around like they're okay, So it's, it's a crapshoot. But, we just want everybody to be safe.
Yeah, it's just how life is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this week on the 21st was the 4th anniversary of Prince passing away. Think about that. Prince has been dead for 4 years.
4 years. It does not seem that long.
No.
I mean, I remember I saw him live at the it was still called the Summit at the time in 1997 in Houston. It was like August of 97, and it was just like an amazing show. He danced on everything. He humped everything. He played every instrument you could think of. And he basically did. He humped everything. It was just this amazing show of just virtuosic, ability. And then, thinking about that and then thinking about that guy is gone. Like,
Yeah, I saw him twice. I saw him once in Connecticut, and I saw him once at the Garden. Amazing.
Oh, that had to be awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. Amazing.
You know, you could do a show just on Garden Tales, James, just telling us all your stories of the Madison Square
Yeah,
Garden.
I've been to the Garden a few times. Oh yeah, matches and shows and all kinds of sporting events. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, Prince was amazing. He was. I mean, he taught himself how to play 22 instruments. Isn't that? Am I not mistaken in saying that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he could play a lot of instruments. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a prodigy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, keep in mind his dad was a jazz musician.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, he probably.
I can't teach myself how to play one instrument.
I could barely teach myself how to walk in a straight line.
I can play multiple instruments, but the thing with if you like teach yourself some about how music works, okay? Yeah. You can play. I'm not going to say you can play every instrument because there are some things you just maybe you're not going to get the mechanics of it down because sometimes the mechanics of a thing is going to befuddle you. But if you can figure out where the notes are in a thing, you can just immediately start putting things together. So I mean, it's just one of those things. If you have some basic music knowledge, you can kind of do stuff. So,
gotcha. Speaking of doing stuff.
Oh, I'm scared where this is going.
No. I'm saying, speaking of doing stuff, who saw that disaster last night on SmackDown?
I didn't see a single minute of
it. Where they were doing a live presentation of 25 years of Triple H in the business.
Tell us all about it, because I don't know a thing about it.
It was like Triple H came out, and supposedly it was live yesterday. And Shawn Michaels comes out, and they're going over 25 years of him being in the business. Shawn Michaels is going, I didn't get 25 years, show, stuff like that. It definitely needed a crowd because, like, the jokes were falling flat. And, they were basically roasting Triple H, saying, like, he had all these WrestleMania moments, but like he had over 10 losses in WrestleMania. He did the thing with Katie Vick,
Oh God.
He was the genius behind the This Is My Life, This Is My Life Bailey, which absolutely sucked. And then Vince McMahon came out and started chopping on him about all the bad decisions he made over the years. And he told him he loved him, and then he walked out, and I was like, and this is 25 year celebration. So they were all just marking out over each other. But it definitely needed a crowd. It fell flat. I mean, if you want to honor a guy for 25 years, cool, I'm with that. But you got to make it a little, you got to do a little better than that. I give Triple H all the. Okay, Pedro, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, did it really need a crowd to suffer it, James?
No, probably not, but it would have helped. I mean, it just. I understand what they're trying to do. They were trying to be entertaining. It could have worked, but it didn't. So that's just my opinion.
Didn't Stephanie say something about Shawn, like calling him a lazy-eyed psycho or something like that?
Yeah, they kept having live video phone calls in between this thing, and Steph did a live video call, and like FaceTime Triple H live in the ring, and she said something about Shawn Michaels being lazy eye and stuff like that. I know what they were trying to do, but it just fell flat.
Was there any wrestling on the show?
Yes, but again, there were some decent matches, but it wasn't.
Well, I mean, not so much. Like, did any storylines develop or anything like that? Like, did anything happen besides the celebrating Triple H? Or
the only match that held my attention was Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans.
Oh,
that was a good match. Lacey Evans went over, but everything else didn't hold my attention. I mean, the tag team with Miz and Morrison against the Lucha Brothers. It wasn't. It was just. I don't know. It just.
versus
seemed like
not the Lucha Brothers versus
I mean, not Lucha Brothers. I mean,
Lucha
I'm sorry,
Party.
Lucha House Party.
Yeah, Lucha House Party. Okay.
Yeah, Lucha Brothers. Yeah, please,
I was like,
AEW
whoa.
fans, don't come at me.
A
AEW
huge
fans,
thing
yeah.
happened. I had
Yeah,
no idea.
right, yeah. No, and they were trying to cut promos against Miz and Morrison and the New Day. It's falling flat, man. Everything is falling flat. Everything is falling flat.
No.
And you know what fell especially flat this week?
Oh, boy. What?
NXT.
Mm.
I'll let you guys get into it because I know there were some happenings there. But me personally, I'm a big fan of NXT. I've always have been since its inception. But I thought this was one of the worst shows I've seen all year. I'm just going to leave it at that. I wasn't happy with it at all.
I mean, I thought it started off well enough, to be honest. I enjoyed the women's tag match. I mean, I can't remember what all happened after that.
That stupid promo with Johnny Gargano.
Oh, that was terrible.
At home eating dinner,
terrible.
and then
that was terrible.
then the music chair.
I'm like, your food's getting cold.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that?
Eat.
That was bad. Yeah.
And what? And like, I got his wife looking like Killer Frost. I mean, she's like a stunt double from The Flash. I'm like, what's going on here?
From The Flash.
I mean, like, come on, man. That was stupid. And then the matches.
I guess it's supposed to make her look. She's supposed to look more evil.
Yeah, I mean, really. And they serve Velveeta, right? Zeus, they have Velveeta on the plate.
It's like, fuck.
Oh, like mac and cheese. What is that?
Yeah, it was like Velveeta shells and cheese.
Yeah,
I was like, God, I'm like,
but I thought the whole show. Yeah, it was a live.
Velveeta shells and cheese.
I thought Drake versus Atlas. I thought the match was fairly good, to be honest. But I hated the result because they got us all hopeful for Drake, and then I hated when Jake was that his name, Jake Atlas?
Yeah.
When he talked afterwards, like he sounded like Jimmy Fallon, and I was like, oh shit, Jimmy Fallon just beat the Drake guy, Drake Maverick.
And bad promos. You want to talk about bad promos? How about Damien Priest?
Oh yeah, what's weird? The video worked in terms of hyping, but his delivery was so bad.
It's so monotone. I talk like this. I'm going to kill Keith Lee. I mean, I'm the last one to talk. I mean, I got a stuttering issue due to my heart problem.
James, you have way better delivery than Damien Priest.
But, I have some inflection in my tone. This guy was like, I went to the store and I brought a beer. I mean, like, come on, man. You sound like Robocock. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I like the Io promo, the Io Shirai promo. I thought that was pretty good. I want to see.
It was okay.
I want to see her versus Charlotte, although I know she will job to Charlotte, and that will make me unhappy.
Yeah.
It's
Y2H2. What's going on in the chat?
Hey,
Dibber H.
But I thought the show fell flat, and I was like, "What is this, man? You guys are live this week. Everybody else, you have Raw, it's taped, and you're live, and I mean, this is what you're giving us." I mean, I didn't like the show. I didn't. I did like that Drake Maverick match. It was okay. I did like the women's tag team match. It was all right. Again, it's nothing that we haven't seen a billion times.
Yeah,
and because I'm a little spoiled from NXT, because I do like the great matches that they give, and I saw none of that this week.
Yeah, I mean, they none of this no audience wrestling is going to reach too many highs. I mean, I feel like the best of it is probably peaked at this point in terms of what they can do with the no audience wrestling. But I forgot there was a Kushida Tony Nese match, and it was just kind of there, wasn't it?
That match didn't even click. It didn't work. It was Zeus and I were talking about. Yeah, it didn't work.
It was wonky, that's for sure.
They clashed. It was almost like they clashed.
Yeah, and then we had the great, one of our favorites from AAA and Lucha Underground, Hijo del Fantasma, made his debut in the interim cruiserweight tournament. Why it's an interim belt, I don't know.
I don't understand the reason for this tournament.
Well,
because the champ is stuck in another country.
But you just wait till he can come over.
I know.
Or just have him fight people over there. They've got,
Yeah, I haven't fought NXT UK,
But
it's something. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's something for them to do. I didn't realize it was a round robin. I thought it was like a elimination tournament. Yeah, but I realized on Wednesday, it's a round robin.
Well, of course, we
But yes,
we were so used to a single elimination format. For pretty much most everything in wrestling is usually that.
Yeah.
The last time I remember a round robin tournament was the fucking Starrcade '89.
Oh yeah,
Jesus, it was going back.
I forgot about that thing. They did like one for the tag teams and one for the singles, right?
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Sadly, Mundo lost all three matches.
Yeah,
that was a hard one. Hard night to be a Mundo fan.
Yes.
No,
they killed his whole. They killed everything about him. After that, he was nobody cared anymore.
As far as Phantasma goes, I'm happy for him getting the push and recognition that he finally deserves in WWE NXT audience. I'm happy for our friend Meath.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he was watching live as it happened. But the match with Gallagher, I wasn't a fan of. I think you could have displayed Phantasma in a much more prominent way. The whole thing.
He's a luchador. Let him lucha.
Exactly. I didn't like the way that match with Gallagher was booked at all. It was a wrong way to showcase his skills. I agree with you, Zeus. Let him lucha. I think that'd be a great hashtag. Let him lucha.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh no, I was just saying. I loved. Like his. He had so many beautiful entrance. Get-ups for AAA. Those were just where they were just so Aztec and just so beautiful and flamboyant. That I really hoped that he would come out something like that, but I'm sure they were just kind of doing the best they could with people who make stuff for people in WWE.
Yeah, well, of course they're going to tone it down too because of the situation. So I'm sure after the fans and everything is back to normal, then he'll get the proper intro. But I'm sure that will happen. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So
I don't remember much about the main event from NXT. I know Keith Lee got attacked like Damien Priest jabbed his throat or whatever, and then
Keith Lee died. Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, Keith Lee died. And then the Dream had to face Undisputed Era on his own, right? Oh no, someone came out to wrestle with him. I just couldn't. I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, I forgot that guy's name. I
was like, who is this guy in jeans or whatever? Like, who?
He did the bump over the.
But I don't remember who he is.
Yeah, he did the bump over the top rope and missed almost everybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That seems to happen a lot these days. And
he missed almost everybody.
All over the place. I've seen it happen in AEW. I don't know how many times. People like they just end up going over the top of the wrestlers they're diving on.
I don't know if his foot got caught on the rope or what, because he landed in front of everybody. I was like, ooh, that had to hurt.
Oh, okay, yeah. That happens a lot too.
Yeah, but it was, as far as the main event goes, it was all right. I don't like what they're doing with Keith Lee. You don't do that to that guy. It's just the bad booking. To me, it was a bad show around. It was average. It was okay, but I hold NXT to a higher standard because I'm spoiled by it.
That thing with Keith Lee and Damien Priest, like there's already a thing there. Damien Priest beat him once before.
Right, exactly. So,
like there's already a thing, and then there was a 3-way match, right?
Yeah,
and
Dominic
and Josh, the guy's name I can't pronounce.
Dijakovic.
He got pinned. So like they've already established a reason. Doesn't have to get like so personal or whatever, where he's like, now I try to kill you.
Yeah.
It's like look, they already have a reason. Keith Lee has a belt. What's his face beat him once and then didn't get to prove it the other time because someone else took the fall. So they have a sporting which is supposed to be their kayfabe sport, right? So it's like there's a sporting reason for them to have this rivalry. You don't need to like throw in attempted murder and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh man, good stuff. I just I actually miss Best Phoenix and Mauro Ranallo on the mic. I do. I actually miss them calling NXT shows because they added to it.
Yeah.
I want to say something real fast about commentary. When I was when I gave my sermon about my everyone go watch MLW thing last week, I forgot to mention how great the commentary team is on MLW. Like they are hilarious. They are so entertaining, and they make so much use of guest commentators to like a good effect. The commentary kind of blows me away every time I watch MLW.
I think good commentary has become a lost art.
I mean, it is hard to find guys that are really, really good at it anymore. I mean, and a lot of the guys that became great broadcasters didn't start out in pro wrestling. They started out in sports, in other sports. Like Bob Caudle. Bob Caudle he did a ton of college sports in the Carolinas, and then he settled into pro wrestling, and he was great at it. I mean, but that's not always the case. Like Mike Hogwood was a local guy here, and he ended up doing some stuff for Axis. He was not very. It wasn't his thing. I think he's a fan, but just he wasn't great at it. So it sometimes we don't realize how good we've had it in the past, and then sometimes the present goes, oh hey, look, remember when shit used to be better?
Well, I think Stu Bennett and Joe Galley have done an excellent job in the NWA.
Yeah, I am so glad you brought that up here, Jordan, because I think they play so well off each other. I think they actually are a good team.
Speaking of NWA, I haven't seen this yet, but Zeus, didn't you watch this? Camille had her first match, right, on Tuesday?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. She destroyed Maddie Max or something like that.
We're having some technical issues, I think.
Yeah. Can anybody hear me? You guys there?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, Zeus, we hear you.
What's happening here?
We hear you. We hear you, Zeus.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Zeus? Come to the light, Zeus.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh
my God.
Don't go into the line.
Yeah, don't. Zeus, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
There we go.
All right.
You did.
Okay, so tell it, Camille, who did she wrestle?
I think it was Maddie Max or somebody.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see?
And she
Yeah, I saw it.
She ragdolled her. She beat the crap out of her.
Mm-hmm. I like the hype. I did like the hype video afterwards. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, the whole thing where she's telling her story, that's definitely the highlight of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because she kind of talks about her her life before wrestling, and she's got a little bit of a tude because she's the big tall bad girl, and so she's using her past to shape up her character now, and so I thought they did a good job. I thought
I agree. I thought they did a great job with the video. I did a great job how they presented her.
Yeah.
How she came off in the video was pretty good. It was kind of cool. I liked it. I dug it. It was good.
I need to catch up with this stuff.
I was digging it.
You know what, though?
I love the fact that she plays softball. That's awesome.
They've got the group dynamic now of Worldwide Underground.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Speaking. I had to go back one more thing on the NXT thing. The whole Chelsea Green video, I wasn't impressed with that either. Her by the pool.
Her manager, I can't remember the guy's name.
That's Robbie E.
That manager
Robbie
guy
E from TNA, yeah. Robbie E from TNA.
I do remember him.
Yeah, him, that guy.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I don't think he's working out that well. Like, I don't think this character fits him. Is what I don't know.
I mean, not for nothing, but Chelsea Green is good. He doesn't need all this extra bullshit. Just put her in the ring and let her do her thing.
Well, once again, it's sometimes shit like that just doesn't mean anything to people in WWE.
Yeah,
the Laurel Van Ness, the whole Chelsea Green, the Recluse, all that stuff doesn't mean anything to anybody there. Because they take you and they put you in the performance center and they tell you this is how we want you to be from now
on. Yeah, sad.
She's interesting because like her best character work was in TNA Impact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a weird character and all that, but she made it work.
Yeah, it worked.
Her wrestling maybe wasn't fantastic in TNA Impact, but her character work was really good. And then, like, her best wrestling work that I've seen was that match against Penta in Lucha Underground Season 4. That was like, I was like, I can't believe this is Chelsea Green because that match was so awesome. And then, now, I mean, who is she? She's just that girl we see posting pics in swimsuits, like, on Twitter and social media.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's not much of a character. It's just like a beautiful girl. Like, okay,
and now it's even less of a character. Didn't they let her husband go?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gone. Bye, Zack Ryder.
Well, I don't think they got married yet, but they are engaged. Yes.
Yeah, but aren't they living together for like the last?
Yeah.
I mean, we do know some people who have been in extraordinarily long relationships with their significant other and never got married, and they're pretty much.
Hey. Angie says it's amazing that WWE pick up their talent because if what they seen then they just screw them up. I bring this up because We all watched Dark Side of the Ring this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo. So one of the things I came away with from the Dino Bravo episode was how it's not a new thing of the WWE taking the stars from out in the world and then taking away their specialness before spitting them back out into the business. Like,
yeah,
this is not
Dino Bravo was not the same after he was done.
Yeah.
After he left there.
It just goes to show you too that even at that time, Vince's ego was really Vince's ego. I mean, his ego ruled the company. You know, he didn't want Bravo going over Hogan in Canada because of the fans, so he nixed the match. Even though it was big money, it would have sold out, but because of Vince's ego, no. You know, it's sad.
I never seen Dino Bravo's work outside of the WWF. I'm gonna be honest. Like I mean, how would I have been exposed to that much? Right. Montreal, I've been exposed to some of it because of my friend Flues, but I haven't seen much Dino Bravo stuff at all outside of when he was in the WWF. So it was interesting, that he goes from being this big fish in this little pond, and then he gets humbled, and they just turn him into this. Well, I mean, he was basically a jobber to the stars, wasn't he?
Yeah, pretty much. You know?
Yeah, everything was. I mean, once he had peaked, and a lot of people had said, he was, he could have been an intercontinental champion, but kind of once, all those Quebec guys were just kind of, falling by the wayside for whatever reason. Other teams were coming in, other groups were coming in, and it just it just got lost in the shuffle. And once again, we talk about hoarding talent, and then I mean, there's only so many guys you can get to do stuff with, and you can't do it without hurting people, and that's what happens.
I think a lot of the times too, pride gets in the way, because a lot of the times, like especially in the '80s, because when Vince when Vince was handing out all these ridiculous gimmicks. If you make the gimmick first, if you make the gimmick work, you throw it back in his face. You can make it work. Ask Dusty Rhodes with the polka dots. Ask the Mountie. I mean, they put him in a ridiculous suit, and he made it work. But you have people like Dino Bravo who they were very prideful, and they didn't accept whatever gimmick they were put into, and people rightfully so. I'm not going to do this because it sucks.
Right.
And you have to fight. You got to pick and choose your battles, and he picks and chooses battle, and he didn't win, and it's hard back then.
Yeah.
But he even asked the Mountie. He said he thought it was ridiculous because he was saying like but he made it work, and then what, he ended up getting a push, and then and then what, he was with the company for what, like over 10 years, something like that. So he made it work. It's sad, though. It's sad. And he was shot 11 times. That's brutal.
Oh, God, he was shot a ton of times. Yeah, they sure.
Yeah, there was like 8 bullets shot into the house. I mean, it's like a ridiculous number, but he's like 11 bullets to the body and like 7 in the head.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure that guy stood down, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the episode, actually. I thought it was a pretty good episode.
I thought it was okay. It was more like something on the Discovery Channel, like Joe Kenda, Detective. The ID channel, something like that. But it was okay. It was good. Actually, what's the next week's?
The guy who slapped the dude. What's his name? Dr.
Dr. D. David Schultz.
Dr. D. Yeah.
David Schultz.
Yeah. I can't think of his name.
That's when he slapped the shit out of John Stossel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think it was. I think they said he was shot something like. Well, Angie's saying 11 times. Wasn't it like 11 times in the body and XYZ?
Yeah, it's like 11
times
in the
head?
body and 7 in the head. Yeah.
7 in the head. Jesus.
Yeah.
Whoever
That's why the
did
daughter,
that.
that's the daughter said she didn't recognize his face, but she recognized his hands.
Yeah, yeah. You got to be like a stone cold killer 7 times in the head. Boof, no problem.
Well, I'm sure it was a
savage.
few of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one.
That's because you can't send one guy to get Dino Bravo. That guy was the bull. Jesus, man.
The the
He
stuff
was
on
huge.
the stuff on like who did it didn't connect that well in the episode. But for me, the stuff that worked was like the stuff that kind of got across. This thing about he was, a star. And then WWF took everyone away, and then he like his territory died, and then he goes, and then they turn him into a nobody, and then they spit him out, and he's like, "What do I do?" And he goes into the mafia and life of crime, and then the stuff with his family, how they dealt with it, like that was the stuff that connected to me. But the crime stuff was kind of run of the mill, yeah.
It just wow. It's sad, yeah, Angie. You're right. It's sad. It's sad that these things happen.
I don't know if this is my internet or what.
We lost the God of Thunder. James?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Here,
all right. We can do this. We can do this.
Zeus will come back.
Zeus will come back. Don't worry. Our super famous historian will be back. We promise.
It was Suzuki Gun.
Yeah, Suzuki Gun is interfering with the God of Thunder.
It was Suzuki Gun interfering with the God of Thunder.
As much support as I give them, they should be kinder to me.
Yeah, I know, right?
But they're heels, so they don't care. That would be the ultimate thing. Is like if I ever get to meet Desperado and Kanemaru and give them that picture I drew of them, and then they just go like, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. Hi, Tui. Yeah, it's okay.
One more note from the Dark Side of the Ring. You know how the Rougeau brother was talking about how he felt, they should have been bigger stars in Quebec, but they couldn't get to the top because of Dino Bravo was protecting his spot, so they went with the WWF and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
If you there is the stuff between the Garvins and the Rougeaus from Montreal, it is just like some of the most molten hot heat you can ever see from a crowd. So they were definitely super over in that territory, because I've seen that stuff before, the Rougeaus, Garvin stuff, and that stuff is just like crowd heat smashing your television set apart or something.
X-Pac heat.
No, I'm talking.
Go away, heat, hot heat.
The hot James, like the crowd is insane for what's going on. Like,
yeah, I know.
They want to kill the
Like
Garvin.
the white hot heat. Yeah, I know. I just like calling out X-Pac for the heat he used to get.
That when they talked to was it Jacques or Ramone?
I think it's Jacques. Yeah.
Jacques. Yeah, and he's like, he said that Dino called him and said, "Hey man, can you come over?" He's like, I know this guy, but I don't, we're not like friends like that. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It's like he was he was obviously desperate and scared, to be alone. I mean, he probably kind of knew that shit was coming.
They
and also
never really said they never really said exactly what he was doing, right? They said it's some cigarettes and some other stuff.
He was enforcing, and he was a part of the cigarette trade, the smuggling.
Yeah, so he because he went to the Indian reservations, and this is interesting too because this contradicts things that I'd heard since his death. Because I'd always heard, and I believe I read it in one of the magazines. I don't know which one, but it was either an Aftermag or one of the other ones. That Dino Bravo was getting cigarettes from North Carolina, and that's absolutely not. That's absolutely not what they said in the Dark Side of the Ring. That he got them from the Indian reservations because they were able to import them cheaper, and they were. They were unboxing them and reselling them to gangsters.
Yeah, but here's my point. Meaning they never really said what he was doing that got him killed. Because importing cigarettes, okay, fine. If you're going to tax somebody for importing cigarettes and you get mad, it's more money than anything. To get shot like that, that's beyond. He did something he really wasn't supposed to do, or he went against somebody that he wasn't supposed to go against.
Well, yeah, but they said there was cocaine involved too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it had to be something other than cigarettes to get him shot like that.
And they also alluded to there being like a bust that cost people a ton of money, and he.
Okay.
And when just him being a former pro wrestler, the Indians on the reservation. They really liked him and were selling to him, and they bumped other guys out who had been buying from him. So he ruffled some feathers, that's for sure.
Sad story.
Yeah, Angie. Yeah, probably Jacques Rougeau not going to see Dino saved his life for sure.
Yeah.
He could have.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. But that message was sent because all that shots you had to do something. There's something that's not right there. That's.
I saw some people making a deal about Rick Martel not participating, and them using that old. Shoot interview footage and the thing. Y'all make anything out of Rick Martel not participating? I don't know why people made a thing out of it. Online.
He doesn't want to talk about it. He was his friend, So that I think death affects people differently. So he doesn't want to relive it. He doesn't want to talk about it. That's fine.
He's not been one of the guys though he's not done a ton of interviews since he retired.
Right.
Yeah, he keeps everything to himself, I
mean, he always kind of has kept a lower profile.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of made a whole new life for himself as a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't revel in the fact that he was a wrestler. He actually left that part of his life behind. He's done with it.
And he even that last run in WCW, he was still great in the ring. You talk about screwing the pooch there. They should have done something.
Well, he was always great in the ring. His ring work was never an issue. It was everything else. Either it was stupid gimmicks, either it was they just didn't have anything for him. Or they just strictly screw the pooch, like you said. His ring work was always great. They just, I don't know, they always dropped the ball when it came to Martel.
It's kind of interesting how many former AWA world champions kind of didn't meet their potential in the WWF, like Martel, Kurt Hennig for certain, because.
But Hennig got over with the Mr. Perfect gimmick. He was over with that gimmick, though.
He should have had at least one run as the champ.
True.
I think.
True.
I mean,
true.
Have you seen his AWA title run? Because he had a really good title run.
Yeah, he had a great title run. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
I had to catch up with a lot of that. That was some of the fun stuff that I got from tape trading because I didn't get to see a lot of it as it happened.
Right.
You know, I was reading about it in the magazines, but we didn't have the AWA back then. So,
Yeah.
Oh, and can I give a shameless plug here?
Yes.
So the nice young Londoner gentleman Stephen Gutteridge had me record a couple more episodes of the MidSouth Moments podcast. It's on iTunes and Apple Podcasts, and we reviewed the May 19th, 1984 episode of MidSouth. And it's pretty cool. They did a contract signing between the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh.
Nice.
And because the Rock and Roll were the champions, and so Jim Cornette was putting up $50,000 if the Rock and Roll won. So, you know, of course, they've got all it's from the YouTube stuff, so it still has the original music, you know, and girls just go ballistic when the Rock and Roll come to the ring, and it was a really tense showdown. Of course, Cornette was running his mouth the whole time, but it set up the next episode that we recorded too, the actual match. And there's some spots in there, I swear, man. Ricky Bobby and Dennis and Robert, they were really good against each other. Some great stuff. Butch Reed, Tar and Feathering, Junkyard Dog.
Butch Reed.
And so,
I was a fan of Butch Reed. I liked him.
Yeah, he was good then. He wasn't good so much later. But
the natural Butch Reed.
He was solid in Doom because he was being a part of that team. Yeah. That worked out great for him.
Yeah.
And the podcast is MidSouth Moments, right, Zeus?
MidSouth Moments. Yep, under Stephen Gutteridge, under. In Apple Podcasts and iTunes and all that good stuff. So he's been doing this for a while.
Got to make sure to listen to the super famous historian, the God of Thunder, Zeus.
God of Thunder.
God of Thunder.
So definitely check that out. I always have fun, sharing and talking with everybody else. So.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Way Too Real guys last night for saying hello. I gave a quick listen to the show last night. It was okay. It's okay. It definitely needs some real wrestling to happen soon.
Some Lucha Underground.
Yeah, we all need to go back to talking about wrestling real soon.
Did either of you see any of AEW this week?
I didn't. Get the hell out of here with that shit.
What about you, Zeus?
No, I didn't watch any of it.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to see more of some of the guys that I like. I mean, I love Angelico and Jack Evans. I like
actually need to start watching it.
Yeah. Because I have DirecTV and whatever package we have, we get, besides regular TNT, we get like TNT West. So I caught the first hour of it later after NXT.
Okay.
So I did see the first hour. I didn't stick around for the second hour. The first hour, yeah. What's that guy's name? Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara. They had a match where they just did, again, kind of like their Revolution pay-per-view match. They just did a bunch of stupid shit. And they didn't sell it. and they were busting like Darby Allin's nose got busted open. Sammy Guevara, like his teeth, like his front teeth, had all this blood coming out of his gums from stuff. And they just did a bunch of stupid stuff, and they had a match, and the people loved it. I know people loved the match. They said, "Oh, it was so hard hitting," and this and that. It's like, yeah, it's hard hitting because they just really just hit each other.
Actually, I want to ask you, Pedro.
Okay, ask me, Pedro.
Ask you, Pedro. I'm sorry. I want to ask you. Damn, see, I'm all fucked up. I want to ask you a question, Pedro.
Yes.
I need your help. I have such a biased opinion against AEW because I think it absolutely sucks. But I want to get into it. I want to start watching it. So, what do you think I should do to get into AEW? Like, how can I watch this with
James,
the unbiased opinion? Just watch it for what it is.
Okay, James. What do I do every week when I watch AEW and we talk about it here?
Cringe.
You cringe.
I shit on it, don't I?
Yes, you do.
So I don't personally enjoy AEW. I couldn't tell you, like, oh, how can you watch it to like appreciate it more? It's like, but I don't know. I mean,
because it has people that I want to see.
I know. Okay, let's put it like this. Okay, so if I asked you, did you like Pentagon Junior, Pentagon Dark, and Phoenix in Lucha Underground?
Yes, I did. I love them.
Okay. How about if we make them just seem like, basically just jobbers to the elite and gatekeepers, and kind of they're just there.
I'm throwing slippers at my TV.
Exactly. This is what this is. I think some of us didn't really pay enough attention to the title of this promotion. All elite wrestling. Everything kind of centers on the elite. So
in other words,
well, what I'm saying is, if people you love,
I want to see Lance Archer. I want to see stuff like,
Okay, well, we don't know enough yet of how that's going to play out. Like, so far, he's killing people, but they have him with. His squash of Marco Stunt was kind of impressive in terms of the insane bumps that Marco Stunt took from him.
Yeah.
In terms of that, it's coming off okay. But then, they have Jake the Snake talking for him, and Lance Archer talks fine. He doesn't really need Jake the Snake talking for him.
Right.
He's got a good personality, and he knows who the fuck he is.
Yeah, Brody Lee needs Jake the Snake.
Oh yes. Okay. See, here's one of those things. So say you've seen Brody Lee. And you're like, oh, maybe you saw him before he was in WWE, then you saw him in WWE, and you like stuff in both things.
He actually could go in the ring.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember before they did that Randy Orton Bray Wyatt WrestleMania match, that for a moment the crowd got super behind Luke Harper?
Mm-hmm.
And people were pushing for them to do a Luke Harper Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania, or at least to make it a 3-way instead.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, because he could have gotten over.
This was like his hottest moment in the WWE. Don't you agree? Was that?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
The crowd got behind him for this brief moment, and then they were just like, "No," and never. They didn't bite. They were like, "No." Okay, so. If you like Brody Lee and you're like, oh man, he's in AEW, I want to see how this is. Okay, let's say if I tell you they have him wearing suits that don't fit him and doing weird cell phone shot vignettes where he's chastising underlings and taking shots at the WWE, and
while eating a steak,
not even subtle shots, just very obvious, criticisms of the WWE, and just weird things. And then he's the leader of a cult, even though he cannot talk well. He's the leader of a cult, and And Elite of Occult, when they have Matt Hardy there, who would make more sense as the leader of Occult. Even though it's obvious. I know that. People say that's too obvious. I get it. It's too obvious. But sometimes the obvious thing is there. It's obvious for a reason. So the thing with AEW, it's like if there are people you love who are there, well, it's a thing where it's like, well, do you want to see them kind of be in the underwhelming stuff? Then
I have a fear of because I used to like. I mean, this is a long time ago. I used to like TNA, and then it transformed into Impact. Then it started having people that I used to like, and like John Hennigan. Him, Johnny Mundo on Impact was nothing like he was on Lucha Underground. He was horrible. They had all these people coming on Impact, and it sucked. And the wrestling was subpar, everything was subpar, and it turned me off. I was so disenchanted with it, and I have that same feeling because I watched one episode of AEW, over on THT, and I was blown away how sucky it was. Yeah. I was like, wow, you got to be shitting me. You got all these people, and this is what you give me? Even the wrestling was at half speed. And it was nothing like, I was like, what is this? And the first thing that popped into my head again was Impact.
I think TNA Impact is a good comparison. I'm not trying to insult AEW and their fans. Just to me, they've become very similar. They're very much similar entities. These two things.
Unless your name isn't like Nick Johnson or something like that, you're not going to get a decent push.
The only difference is like AEW has half the audience TNA had at their peak, but everything has less audience than it did back then because TV has changed. But they have half the audience they had then that TNA had at their peak, but they have way more people praising it than the other thing ever got. So
yeah, and that's another thing that doesn't help the situation is because I see people online praising AEW like it's the second coming. Oh my God, that's the best 5-star match I've seen in my entire life. Yeah, okay, it sucked. And then I sit there and watch it. I'm like, what crack are you smoking? This match absolutely blows donkey dick. I'm like, really? This shit sucks. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. And you know what? I was all in for it too because I put Double or Nothing. Remember? Yeah. Like all of us sat in. All three of us. Oh my God! We were all excited. I was all in too. I was like, I was ready to go. And then I thought Double or Nothing was great. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it went on TV, womp womp womp. I was like, wow, this shit just blows.
I had a number of issues with Double or Nothing.
I mean, they made promises. They said they were going to go one way, and then they went another way. And that's never set right with me. I feel like the whole thing. It's very indie. It's very elite. And it's like it's like their own little party.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad people like it. I don't, I just don't watch it. It just does not appeal to me. I don't watch that. I do not watch WWE. I've tried to watch a little bit of, try to watch a little bit of, John Morrison here and there. I try to watch, when I hear, Shane Strickland is on, I want to see that. When Phantasma is on, I want to see that. But I mean, it's kind of like something that's like I can have a movie on my laptop, and I can have the wrestling on with the volume off on the TV. And then, when something catches my eye, then I can watch the wrestling. But it's basically something I'm definitely not tuning into Raw. Raw didn't have anything I want to watch at all. And so, between our little conversations and whatnot, that's, there's just shit, it just doesn't appeal to me. I'm glad it's got fans. I'm glad we've got, places for people to work, and I'm glad it's successful, to a degree, as good as it can get right now. But,
I mean, Andy said you have to take it for what it is. I mean, we do have to accept that it just is. We're not the audience for this show.
Yeah, but Andy,
Right.
the wrestling itself is just not good. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen is just not good. Nobody sells.
Yeah, but
Everybody wants to get their spots in, and that's it.
James,
I mean, it's just not good.
look, when we talked about this last year, when AEW was announced, there were a lot of people and admittedly, there's a situation created by the WWE.
Oh yeah,
WWE
absolutely.
created a
I agree.
situation where they had people who wanted to love wrestling, but they couldn't. They're impossible to love the WWE. And so when AEW came around, they were just like all in before the first show. They were already decided they were going to love it no matter what because it was their alternative.
It was anti WWE, right?
So yeah, it is what it is. They produce what they produce. It's logical booking and stuff. It's not their forte. All kind of things. It just is, a show. It's just a show, and unfortunately, people we love go there, and nothing happens to them. But if those people went to the WWE, the same thing would happen there, or worse. So there's no good answers. So
I'm going to ask you guys another question then. Do you think all these no audience shows are exposing these companies for how bad their wrestling product really is?
I mean, only unless you're not paying attention in the first place.
Right.
I
Because
mean,
I'm seeing some of the stuff and I'm like, wow.
I mean, I see a lot of people saying, I want crowds again. I see that a lot. And I think they're both, and it's so funny too. It's so funny because the WWE and in WCW used to pipe in cheers all the time.
Right.
They used to pipe in cheers when if Hogan came to Charlotte, he's going to get booed out of the building. But by the time they got it on that replay, after the initial live broadcast, they'd fixed it already.
Right.
And they should be doing that. They should have cheers so people know when people are going, should be going nuts.
Yeah.
I'm just it's like a it's not a live studio audience, but I mean we sat through a million sitcoms with canned laughter.
Right.
Yeah.
And it helped.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly
you're
right. Zeus, good
point.
Good point.
The sitcom's a good thing to bring up because it conditioned generations of people to it, right?
Right.
We all were conditioned to it through, repeat exposure.
The laugh track.
Yeah.
Everybody had the laugh track. Yeah.
As you say that, Zeus, I go back to your idea. You had more than a month or two ago. Yeah, put in the video game audience. Why not? Just have like a green thing back there, and you can do it. Like you can just pipe it in. Like,
well, it's just like they do those graphics. When the guys walk in, I mean that shit looks crazy cool on TV. So just do that shit.
Yeah.
The person who's done the best with the no audience wrestling in terms of, I'm not saying so much the wrestling aspect. I just mean just running with it has been Asuka, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think that that's a gold mine right there. They should take advantage of that.
Kana Asuka is just made the most out of it.
I mean, everybody was going crazy with her doing the Japanese commentary. They loved it. And it did two things. It covered up the conversation in the ring, and it got over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. She just has so much natural charisma. Like
Mhm.
outside, forget that she's amazing in the ring. When, with if they just let her go, it's like she just has so much charisma. Like,
Yep.
you don't need. She doesn't have to speak English to get to connect with the audience.
Right. No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Especially
I totally
like
agree.
in the times we live in, I feel like that deal needs to kind of go aside. You don't have to like speak English to get over. Like it's like Penta. His most charismatic is him speaking Spanish, and everyone gets it. Even when
Mhm.
they don't have the subtitles, you can still get it that he's saying something.
You can still hear the passion.
Yeah,
Right.
his charisma and delivery is just
When he was saying, everything that he would say, it didn't matter if you understood Spanish or not. You understood that he meant it, and he was like,
Mhm.
he was fired up, or he was dramatic. He was looking for his master. He was, he just and oh my god, the interview with
Unlike-
Vampiro,
unlike
those
Damien
are great.
Priest.
yeah.
Ian
Unlike Damien Priest, right? I went and bought a box of cereal. Yeah, unlike that.
Keith Lee, I went
Keith
and
Lee.
got some life cereal. None for you though.
Keith Lee,
Even the
you don't get
Gargano.
none of my cereal.
The Gargano stuff.
Yeah, you're
That
right. It was
was-
very
yeah.
monotone there as
It
well.
was very monotone. Yeah, Zeus, same thing.
I mean, it was like stuff
I don't
was broken
understand that.
down. It's like what he was saying was broken down on a cue card in front of him. Probably because it was broken down on a cue card in front of him. Then he needs smaller chairs. Smaller chairs at their dining room table.
They're small
Yeah,
people.
but Gargano
Small
doesn't
people
need to be
suit.
broken down. He can get passionate promos, yeah, because I've seen him
He
do it.
looks like and I don't have anything against wrestlers being small.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he looked really small sitting
In that
at
chair?
that table. It's like, is Kevin from Home Alone sitting beside him?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
He's like, mommy, I promise I'll be a good boy.
Kevin from Home Alone.
Don't put me in the chair. Don't put me in. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Oh, YYH is bringing up some of the production end on the AEW. Yeah, it's weird. They've been people still say, "Oh, they're so new." They still give them time. They've been around for a year now. Like they've had time to get some of this production stuff under control. I feel
There's too many people agreeing on what's good behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I think with when the fact that you've got, we know we have all of these executive vice president, co-producer, executive director, what the fuck ever these goddamn titles that they have. It's like it feels like Jericho is booking the inner circle stuff. It feels like the Bucks are booking the tag team division, and Cody is booking a bunch of other shit. If it feels like there's separate things, going on, and that because everybody is doing separate things, they're not really paying attention, or they don't want the confrontation. Of saying, hey, why don't you do this instead?
Right.
Because honestly, you got Pac. I mean, Pac is definitely, oh my God, he's far and away the most interesting guy on the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, because he knows how to speak so well. It's like you can't throw story bullshit at him because he's going to poke holes in it. It's like, oh, fuck off. It's like I was supposed to have a shot already. Why are y'all fucking me out of everything now? I mean, that guy is really good. And I think, he's being wasted. And the two guys he's been put with are being wasted.
Go back and watch Pac versus Omega, their Iron Man match.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mean, just my opinion. But to me, it's very obvious. Like, it's not just opinion. If you watch it, the evidence is all there. Pac is amazing in that match.
Yeah,
Omega, not so much. And I mean, Pac is the one who really makes everything and sells everything and blah blah blah.
Well, Pac is amazing in the ring. First of all, he's a 5-star caliber.
But I mean, if you watch that match, it's so obvious he's so much so far ahead better than Omega. Right. And you go like, well, how much of Omega's success has always been his opponents in a way?
Well, I think,
maybe more than we really knew.
I agree, Pedro. I think you're onto something there, because I like Omega, but I think his opponent, as you alluded to, it contributes to his success. They either make him look good, or he rises to the occasion, and then he doesn't. When the opponent is so,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip all the time.
No, there you go. And then Angie brought up a good point about the AEW's women division. It's horrible. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely the retard.
Yeah, that's a mess.
I mean, if WWE released like more women, then the AEW should snatch all of them up, in my opinion, because they need women like that there who've had that kind of, rigid training or whatever
but we see, that they're. I think there's going to be more the women that have been released by WWE. I think are going to end up in Impact and Ring of Honor than they are in AEW.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Diana,
I mean,
Perazzo
Ring
has
of
a lot
Honor,
of ties.
Ring of Honor women's division needs some help.
Yeah, they do.
They need some help.
It does. I agree. It does. It does.
Because there's just so few people in it.
I like to see a couple of the women sprinkling into the NWA too.
Oh yeah,
I'd love that too. I mean, that's another thing. Is hopefully we'll be getting back to something by the end of summer.
I mean, all of us love Thunder Rosa, but not for nothing. I don't want to see her keep fighting the trifling whore over and over and over again. I mean, I want some new blood in there.
Well, Camille is calling her shot.
Yeah.
She's saying that the NWA women's title is her goal, and Thunder Rosa is already tweeting out, "Kiss my ass," get in line.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of you just because you're fucking tall. So that's going to be something definitely to look forward to this year.
Pedro, what's the tall girls from NXT again? I think Hernandez.
Oh, something Gonzalez. Raquel.
Yeah.
Raquel Gonzalez, something like that.
Yeah. Raquel Gonzalez. Yeah,
that was a good.
I think
pitch. That was some heft in that. She really she had to work hard on that one.
Shotzi Blackheart was super good in that match.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
But
I see a lot of potential in Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, she's kind of green at the moment, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I could see somebody like that in NWA.
She's huge. I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying she's like. When I say she's huge, I don't mean like she's overweight or anything like that. She's not. But I just mean like her frame is like she's
tall.
She's really tall and big shoulders and everything. Like she could be a destroyer.
Hides it well, in kind of her entrance gear and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't quite understand from a lot of the photos, I think, until you see.
Yeah. I hope they develop her well. Yeah, Shotzi Blackheart, like you were saying, she's awesome in that. Yeah, she's awesome too.
Yeah, I mean, I brought up to y'all the other day when she did her first appearance on Impact. She wrestled. She jobbed to Allie, and it was the first time ever Allie's like stuff in the ring looked good. was in that match. And it was
Now
like,
you know
oh,
why.
wow. Yeah. Well, I said it then, like when this is like 2018. I think I said it then, like, wow, like Shotzi Blackheart was good or whatever, because she made Allie look good. Like even Taya, who we love, she couldn't make Allie look good. And then here Shotzi Blackheart came in and she made Allie look good. And I was like, oh, I was legit shocked.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's been a week.
It's been a long month this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I want to thank everyone for stopping by. Angie, YYH. And next week, Popcorn, Flicks, and Tanahashi Film with Angie.
Thank you,
Tanahashi, my personal friend.
Yes,
yes.
My good friend.
This is super famous. Thanks, YY, for coming on, and ANG, thanks for waking up on the left
We miss
side.
Angelico's knees too.
Woo! And I want to see more Phantasma NXT. Let's go. We're right. And of course, we want to see the big name on NXT in the ring, Karrion Kross. All right, because it's going to be Killer Kross from now on for me. Because I can't say Karrion. That's bullshit. So we need Killer Kross in that ring.
Yes.
So thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody stay safe. Please enjoy your weekend. And please don't forget to listen to Zeus, our super famous historian and the MidSouth Moment podcast. So good stuff. Oh, yeah. Good stuff all the way around. As Pedro plucks away on his guitar.
It's really a guitar, but he's got it.
Not a guitar, no.
See, Pedro playing some good stuff right now. Uplifting good stuff. I don't need any tissues. Andy don't need to eat chocolates. See the good stuff.
Chocolates? What? I don't understand that reference, bro.
Andy had to eat chocolates at your last concert. She was so
okay.
sad. She was like, oh my God, I got to eat chocolate. This music is depressing.
Well, I'll try not to depress people. We'll see y'all next week. Popcorn Flick, Tanahashi Film, Angie. Adios.
Later, people. Peace. I dug the way you pluck at that.